gentlemen, he is the problem child, Jake El Gallo! Oh! Making his entrance to the ring, the challenger, AJ Anthony Joshua!
MMA striking coach, man I've known for over 20 years. And our unofficial scorer, Sean Wheelock, gave the opening round to the returning legend.
Here we go, live.
A close fight, so you don't want
For AJ not having it on his own.
I think both guys actually taking it on the
Ching 2.
body back fall. There's the left hand.
Put it fairly wide, haven't you, Carl? I know Tony Bellew has too. Just seen Anthony Joshua so fast. Left, right, left hook comes to it. His age.
Yeah.
He's been pretty busy. Look at him.
That's a half.
Anthony Joshua.
The clash between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua played out like a slow-building heavyweight story. The kind of fight where tension grows round by round, where patience matters, and nothing comes quickly or easily.
Anthony Joshua, as we all know, never been down, amateur or pro. But there's some more.
Oh, it's those a lazy jab. That's what you want to.
Nose of Silva.
Very loose. To play a part in this.
From the opening bell, Jake looked relaxed and energized, light on his feet, bouncing, throwing feeler shots, trying to dictate rhythm and show he belonged on that stage. Joshua, meanwhile, stayed upright and composed, calm eyes, disciplined stance, allowing the fight to come to him rather than forcing anything early.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
We see that. Only one big shot, 2 points. Yeah, there's been matching with a right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's. We're finding a pretty busy pace. Should hone the crowd like that. Traction. The glamorous. Looks in control, but up close as he tries the uppercut.
The opening rounds felt like a thinking man's battle wrapped in size and strength. Jake moved, feinted, and circled, attempting to disrupt timing. Joshua quietly measured distance, stepping just enough to remind him how small the ring feels when a seasoned heavyweight controls space. As the fight settled in, punches became cleaner, clinches turned physical, and the tempo shifted into a mental test instead of a sprint.
2. Left hook there. And a rough ball out of there. Combination from Silva.
Oh,
punch combination.
Another jolting right hand sends Joshua down. Anthony Joshua floored and hurt here in the 6th round.
Every time Joshua set his feet, the arena tightened. And every time pressure closed in, Jake dug deeper, refusing to rush or retreat. Around the midpoint, the fight evolved into something rare. Less about narratives and more about survival, energy management, and decision-making under stress. Neither man panicked. Neither man broke. Each round felt like belief colliding with experience in real time.
Very loose. To play a part in this.
Landing this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
We see that. Only one big shot, 2 points. Yeah, there's been matching with a right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's. We're finding a pretty busy pace. Should hone the crowd like that. Traction. The glamorous.
As the later rounds unfolded, sweat, breathing, and sheer willpower told the story. Both fighters leaned on composure as much as strength. It wasn't reckless. It wasn't flashy. It was controlled intensity, ambition meeting heavyweight reality. The crowd buzzed, not because of one highlight, but because the fight itself demanded attention and refused to let go.
Answer.
When you're in that ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. And you hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you know, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that you just done your job. It wasn't personal.
I mean, yeah, look, I mean, it is a big task, but I mean, if this fight were 14 months ago or whatever, however many months ago you had the belt, then when I win, it would have been me becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. So
you would have beat me for the belt.
And you claim you're better than Tyson, all these people.
Long before the first punch landed, the contrast was already clear at the weigh-in. Anthony Joshua stepped on the scale at 243.4 pounds, looking solid, balanced, and intentional. Not oversized for effect, but built like a heavyweight prepared for a full 12-round workload.
Oh, phew.
243.4. 243.4.
243.4. 243.4 for Mr. Anthony Joshua. 243.4. I'm gonna need all media to scoot back this way, guys. All media, scoot back. Security, help me.
There's no excess, no theatrics, just the presence of a man comfortable carrying power, pressure, and expectation. At that weight, Joshua looked optimized for control and durability. Heavy enough to impose authority, yet composed enough to remain patient. It felt less like a flex and more like a quiet statement. This was about work, not spectacle. Jake Paul followed at 216 pounds. Leaner, lighter, and sharp. His frame reflected a different approach. Speed, conditioning, and movement over brute force. It suggested a strategy built around rhythm, timing, and trust in his gas tank rather than size.
Gentlemen, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
.216, Jake looked ready and athletic, not ignoring the size gap, but choosing efficiency over mass, precision over presence. That difference on the scale didn't feel like a flaw. It felt like a calculated risk, a belief that preparation and confidence could close the distance against a much heavier man. Two fighters, two philosophies, one ring, and completely different visions of how the night would unfold. Moments later, Joshua grabbed a microphone and made his stance clear. He reminded everyone not to confuse respect with restraint. Listening to him, it didn't sound like arrogance. It sounded like experience speaking plainly. He wasn't dismissing Jake. He was warning against underestimating belief. When Joshua said, "You're getting the full AJ," it wasn't trash talk. It was professional clarity.
216.6.
Absolutely, Dials! You listen to me, brother! When the ring bells, I'm coming in there and I'm coming on his ass! You know who I are? I are him!
No easing in, no favors, no influencer detours. Just a heavyweight doing heavyweight work. The way Joshua explained it felt deliberate, almost technical. Knockouts aren't accidents. They're built. You don't chase them. You construct them. And when he spoke about integrity, that was the real message. This sport doesn't reward shortcuts. And he wasn't there to play a role. He was there to do the job properly. He leaned into the knockout talk with a smile, because everyone understands what makes boxing electric. But this wasn't about hype. It was Joshua saying, "Don't expect me to soften it." At 243 pounds, power in both hands, and zero interest in carrying anyone, he sounded like a man completely aligned with who he is and what the moment demands. When a heavyweight speaks that calmly and that clearly, that's when the room goes quiet.
This guy's deluded.
Nah. Look, an amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taking on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury and so on, so he believes in himself. I take it seriously.
Then Jake Paul stepped up, sounding like someone who had already accepted the outcome in his own mind. Listening to him, it felt like classic Jake energy, part manifestation, part main character confidence, fully committed to his narrative. He wasn't rattled. He wasn't rushed. He spoke as if this moment had been written into his future long ago. Whether you believe in it or not, that kind of confidence is dangerous. Not because it guarantees success, but because it doesn't fracture easily. When Jake says others don't see what he sees, I believe him. Not because he's right, but because belief like that lets you walk into chaos smiling.
You've been Olympic champion, two-time world champion. Are you going to have to carry him to make it a spectacle? Or is he going to get the full AJ?
The full. I've never gone in there and knocked someone out within 10 seconds. There's a methodical process to knocking someone out. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not planning on carrying Jake for 1 second more than that.
The calm breathing, the meditation talk. That wasn't fear. That was preparation translated into his own language. You can laugh at it, but you can't dismiss it. He brushed off scripted fight talk while simultaneously acting like the universe was lining up behind him. And here's the key point. Jake didn't pretend this was easy. He called it the hardest thing he's ever done. That honesty made the confidence hit harder. He wasn't reckless. He was committed. Whether belief survives contact is another question. But stepping into a moment like this with composure, humor, and no visible intimidation says something. Jake Paul may have been outmatched on paper, but he walked in upright, smiling, and fully convinced this chapter ends exactly how he imagined. And in boxing, belief doesn't win fights, but it absolutely makes him uncomfortable.
Knockout, what do you make of that? People here in the States as well.
I love him. That's what we got to do. That's what we're supposed to do. From the days of watching Mike, whether it's Foreman, Shavers, why do people love boxing? They don't love it from fighters that box 12 rounds and look great technically. They want to see people getting knocked out. It's just the game I'm in. People got to understand it. And I know people know where I'm coming from. Yeah, like, oh my God, he's so crazy. No, they want to see knockouts. I respect.
By the end, this felt like more than a fight. It felt like a pressure test for boxing itself. Experience versus belief. Discipline versus vision. Preparation versus confidence. Both men carried their own weight into the ring, and every second mattered because of it. This wasn't about viral moments or flash. It was about how each fighter handled expectation when the noise faded and the work began. Now I want to hear from you. Did experience ultimately control the night, or did belief stretch the limits further than expected? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Debate it respectfully. And if you're riding with the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.